What does wealth feel like? If you were to ask 100 people if they wanted to be wealthy, a large portion would say absolutely yes. However, they get trapped in the concept and idea and definition of what wealth really is. This is what we're going to cover in today's exciting episode of the High Performance Consciousness podcast. My name is Matthew Paddy, and again, I will be your host for today's show. So let's dive in on this idea and concept of wealth. What does wealth feel like? How do you define being wealthy? I'm purposefully dropping significant terms here so that you can get a little hint and a sneak peek into what we're going to dive deeper into today. The conversations I've had over the last 3 months have centered primarily around wealth creation with clients and mastermind members. How to create wealth, how to create lasting wealth. They're often picturing it outside of themselves as money in the bank or investments, a freedom-based lifestyle where they can feel stable, secure, confident, comfortable, and even masterful of their own universe. So if that sounds like you, then let's go into an alternative view of what wealth is so that you can subscribe to it more easily rather than getting trapped in the how to acquire wealth. So from the get-go, wealth inherited or self-earned through building a business, whatever it may be, or growing your savings and investment through working for someone else and offering value to them. There are so many different ways to grow physical, monetary wealth. However, the concept I really want to impart, impress, and encourage you to consider is, what does wealth feel like? What does wealth feel like? So as I sit here looking out on the river with beautifully manicured hedges and gardens, and watching the sailboats motor past in the morning and the evening, the rise and fall of the tide, the rising of the sun in the morning facing the east, that is a feeling of wealth. That is an experience for me. That has been something in my mind for several years. Now, I do have different experiences assigned to wealth as well. Mountain views, estate type homes, all those sort of things. Travel, adventure, bringing people together. What is your experience of wealth? What do you determine or define as being wealthy? Because from a wealth building perspective, the fundamentals are the same in building monetary wealth, wealth through assets and acquiring of assets and the growth of a business. The fundamentals are the same on the inside, which is what this podcast is all about. To influence and affect change, upgrades, improvements in your outer world, you must invest in the fundamentals on your inner plane. That which is within is without. As above, so below, you know the rest. So, for you right now, building a wealth strategy is vital. If you are spending less than you earn, you are saving, and you are directing a portion of those savings into investments that by nature historically grow or increase in value over time, whether it's the stock market, whether it's gold, whether it's cryptocurrencies, whether it's property or bonds, whatever it may be, having a diverse portfolio sets you up over the long term. Now, if you know that you earn X, you're on a fixed income, and your expenses are less than what you earn, and you can devote a specific amount, regardless whether it's $50 or $2,000 every week or every month or every quarter, to your savings and your investments, then compounding over time, your interest grows, and so too does the value of your portfolio. The same applies to your subconscious. So if you are focusing on building a plan that moves you progressively and consistently towards your ultimate desire of wealth or experiencing wealth, then you have a much better chance. The odds are so in your favor to experience that which you desire. So the inner plane is about getting really clear, as I've said in many of my podcasts, on what wealth feels like. What does it feel like to have your view, your ultimate view from your living room, your bedroom, your lounge room, whatever it may be? What does it feel like to have the furniture that you want in that place, that house, that apartment, condo, whatever it may be? What does it feel like to drive the car if you want one? Is it electric? Is it diesel? What does it do? What does it feel like to wear the clothes that you want to wear? What does it feel like to have the conversations with other people that are of like minds? As the tune of one of the ferries going past blows its trumpet, that's a little sign, by the way. Listen in. That was your cue. Make sure you're listening. So what does it feel like? Because when you think about grandeur, you think about opulence, you think about influence, wealth, sustainability, comfort, freedom, financial independence. It comes as a state of being. What you feel is natural to you. So you need to train yourself to feel that wealth is natural for you. That's why when you ask people that have had long-term wealth, inherited wealth, that's all that they know, because it is natural for them to live in such an environment, to operate in such a way throughout their day, to wear the type of clothes, to drive the type of car, to travel the way that they do. It is natural for them. So it is a static, focused state of being. It's natural for them. Anything different to that feels unnatural to them, and they will find a way to move back into a preferred state of being, which is their natural state of wealth. So for you, let's say that you are building some savings. Maybe you're already doing a little bit of investing, but you're not right now where you want to be from a financial independence perspective. So you start to doubt, will I ever get there? And you start to place more of your attention on the outside world of objects and things, and you start to look at your bank balance, you look at your portfolio of investments, whatever it may be, and you think that's going to take me a long time to get the dollars in the bank so that I can retire comfortably. That's a very conservative way, and it does work provided you do the work and you give it attention. However, if you want to put your financial independence on speed dial and warp speed, start to bend reality, impress your subconscious with the feeling, activate the feeling of wealth through imagination. And those people with greater convictions, greater certainty, greater commitment to experiencing that which they visualize as their concept of wealth or their ideal reality called wealth, persistence sees it through. And so they impress upon the subconscious the feeling of their environment as a wealthy person or in financial independence. They impress through feeling. The subconscious then goes out and seeks experiences and events and circumstances and opportunities that match that frequency and draws to you those opportunities, those people, those places. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So the big question for you is, let your mind loose. Let your imagination run wild. What does wealth feel like as an experience for you personally? What is the wealth experience for me may be different for what it is for you. Likewise, what it is for you will be different for someone else. It is personal. Wealth is personal because it's a personal experience. Now, the word experience is the result, a chemical result or outcome of thoughts and action in motion. So if you are impressing the feeling of wealth as an experience upon your subconscious repeatedly, consistently, then your subconscious as the body, as the field, your connection to the divine, your connection to the quantum field, is actually the magnet. That's the one that's doing the heavy lifting. So the experience is the end result. When I have an event, the event is the emotion that charges the facts that I have given my subconscious. So the event is the emotion. What comes by experiencing the event is that very thing, the experience. I'm having an experience. So turn your thoughts and feelings into an aligned and preferred experience by giving very clear instructions to your subconscious on what wealth feels like, what it looks like. And in previous episodes, I've actually spoken about spiritual sensation, which is essentially bringing your 5 senses online to a higher vibration. So it means that if you closed your eyes right now and I asked you to visualize a golden coin, you could do that. But you were seeing the golden coin in your mind's eye, as it were. You were using a spiritual sensation. You're not using your physical eyes, which are limited due to the bandwidth of the light spectrum, that which we can see. And I've covered that in previous episodes too. Now, let's say you've still got your eyes closed and I asked you to pick up the gold coin. Pick up the gold coin and feel it between your fingers. You can feel both sides of the coin. You can feel the rough, grooved, corrugated edges of the coin. How does it feel between your fingers? What is the weight of the coin? Now, are you using your physical hand or are you using your hand in a spiritual sensation? That's 5th dimension. That's going beyond the limitations of the physical body and imagining and bringing forth that which exists in the field of potential as energy, moving wave into particle. Now, you can feel the weight, you can feel the texture. Now I'd like you to smell the gold coin. What does it smell like? You might go, oh, it doesn't smell like anything. Well, it actually does. So what does it smell like? What does it smell like? Now, you drop it on the floor. It's on a tiled floor. What does it sound like when it drops? Or what does it sound like when you flick it up in the air and it leaves your fingers with a little ting? Can you see what I'm doing here? You are bringing in your spiritual sensations. You are going beyond the limitations of your 5 physical senses, and you are using imagination to embody and instruct your subconscious on the feeling of that gold coin. Okay? So you can see it, you can smell it, you can hear it. Now, if you were to taste it, go ahead, taste it. If you want to do that. Tastes like chocolate chip cookies, if that's what you like, or whatever it is. But bring in your 5 senses, and that now creates an experience for the subconscious, because you are bringing your senses beyond the limitations of the physical body into a feeling. How does it feel to know that that gold coin is now worth $100, $1,000, $1 million, or that gold coin now represents the wealth that you desire to experience? And with that gold coin comes everything else, the freedom, the peace, the certainty, the stability, the confidence, the independence. That's how you bend reality. So you impress that on your inner subconscious planes, and you take the consistent, repeated action in the outer world by following the fundamentals of the game. The fundamentals of the game are not, I hope a bag of gold is going to drop on my lap and that I don't have to do anything for it. That is not going to happen for the majority of people. However, if I follow the principles and give my attention through spiritual service to the outside world and share my gifts, my service, my abilities, my talents with others, then the field actually rewards you as a result of your actions. So you take aligned action And when you are doing that which you love and serving people through a business, through your family, through the community, through the work that you do, maybe in an office, whatever it may be, you are contributing to your wealth because you are sharing yourself in a higher vibration, at a higher octave, through your gifts and your unique talents with the outside world. So you're impressing on the inner planes, the clarity using spiritual sensation, and you're following through with good, healthy monetary policies on the outside. You're investing in your future through the habits you engage in on the outside, just as you are investing in your financial future and your health future and your well-being future and your abundance future on the inner planes. It starts on the inner planes. Just as, like, if you think back when you were a child, maybe a child or early teens, mid-teens, and you think, I really want to do this. You had an idea of being a doctor or a nurse or being a fireman or, having a large family, working in, on the stock market, whatever it may be. You had a desire. You had a desire. That's the same thing. You could feel it. It was palpable. You daydreamed about it. You became intimate with it by thinking and feeling and reading up about it, watching movies or shows on it, speaking to people. You became obsessed by it to the point where you took action and the opportunity around that which you desire appeared and presented itself because you were focused on it. Does that make sense? So we have two hemispheres with wealth creation. The outer world is that where you place your attention following good, healthy, fundamental practices in building wealth. The inner, the second hemisphere, is the strong inner plane. The strong inner plane is what does wealth feel like as an experience for you, to the point where you have trained yourself to feel it using spiritual sensation and the outpicturing of your mind, using visualization, using your imagination. You've done it so much that it becomes a natural state of being. Now, if you are listening to this and you are definitely not where you want to be, everything sucks in your world, there's too much money going out than coming in, there's no savings, you don't feel like you've got any support or any financial independence, you are living literally paycheck to paycheck. If that's you, you can start to change the game straight away. You start now. You don't wait for tomorrow or next week when the next paycheck comes in or when the next client arrives. You start today. Today. And how you start and where you start is with your concept of wealth. What does wealth feel like as an experience? You must start defining that. You may not get it perfect the first time. It may feel awkward, it may feel distorted, it may feel unclear, even that you're incapable of creating a very solid, confident scene for you to experience. I encourage you to persist with it. What does wealth feel like as an experience? From that springboards the certainty and the decisions and the behaviors now that you install out in the outer world that support, nurture, and magnetize wealth to you as a reality. I'd love to hear your comments on this, and if you want me to go deeper into wealth creation, then let me know. If you are interested to go deeper into the mind, then I do have a new group starting soon. It is free. It's called Mind School for business owners, entrepreneurs, health practitioners, coaches, anyone who really wants to break limits, build confidence, and 10x their success. So if that's you, go to matthewpatty.com and subscribe to get your invitation to the group that is launching very, very soon. matthewpatty.com, subscribe, get an invitation to Mind School. It's launching very soon. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. From me here to wherever you are in the world, dream a better dream. And remember, it's all you, baby. See you in the field.